Empires don't fall in battle, they fall when they fail to unite their people. From the Mughals to the British, history has proved it, and the lessons hold true for us today.
The United Nations has also accepted the fact that Pakistan is the biggest victim of terrorism itself. There is no doubt about that. But at the same time, this narrative has stuck. And India is also using this narrative.
The book Strategic Reckoning, edited by Dr. Rabia Akhtar, reminds us that deterrence is not just about weapons, it's about mindset, democracy, unity and credibility.
I think other countries in the region, whether it's Sri Lanka, whether it's Nepal, whether it's Bangladesh, whether it's Maldives, they all stand in unison with Pakistan in asking India to put an end to such strategic arrogance.
India's doctrine, dangerous ambiguity, surgical strikes, hybrid warfare and post-Pahalgam escalations, contradictions that blur nuclear, biological and conventional lines. It may be seen as a political theatre, but strategically it's a recipe for miscalculation.
The 2025 crisis has shown us that there is nothing normal about what India has done. Its strikes deeply penetrated inside Pakistan, failed to create a new normal.
Pakistan's strength, hard-earned credibility, 90,000 lives lost in the war on terror, billions sacrificed. And when Pahalgam happened, our call for an impartial investigation proves our hands were clean, unlike India's silence on the tragedies like the Jafar Express. But deterrence cannot stand still. It must adopt with new technologies, autonomous systems, cyber power, and most of all, national unity. Without unity, deterrence becomes hollow. Kashmir remains central. If India can rewrite its constitution, Pakistan must respond with law, policy, and diplomacy, making self-determination non-negotiable. Deterrence is a roadmap for Pakistan to turn sacrifices into strength, challenges into opportunities, and the vision of security the world cannot ignore.